Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, part of the RSG crew and your host. Hey, everybody, happy Monday. If there's such a thing that exists in the real world. Hope everybody's doing well. If you are new to the lunchroom and wondering what in the hell is this? Well, this is where we hang out with you wonderful folks for the next hour. Talking shop on some Star Wars Galaxy Heroes stuff. We'll do a roster review and we'll answer questions. If you do happen to have questions, go ahead and put those in there. Make sure you put question in front of the statement, and we will go ahead and get those scooped up and get those right out after we do our roster review. What else? If you haven't already, stop what you're doing. Give us a thumbs up on the video. It helps us spread out our content to the YouTube stratosphere, and it really makes a big difference. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps us with monetization, and again, getting our name out there. Especially if you like the content. That way you get notified whenever we're streaming live, and we stream live all the time. So you might as well just get in there and dat. Also, if you haven't checked out our Patreon, please do. We appreciate all our Patreon supporters. We use all the funds that we make from YouTube and Patreon, going right back into the stream to get better equipment, better stuff, do more stuff for you guys. Rocking and rolling is what we do. And then last but not least, if you haven't checked out our GoFundMe, we are planning on doing a half marathon run to raise money for the American Cancer Society in April next year. But we need your help to get there. So the first step is we have to raise the money for the travel expenses to get there to said Walt Disney World to participate in the event. And then we're going to have to work on raising money for the event for charity and stuff like that. So a lot going on. But if you'd like to check those all out, their links are all down below. Anything you would be willing to do, we're very appreciative, and everybody who's helped us so far, we really appreciate you guys as well. All right, that being said, let's introduce everybody. First, let's introduce Mr. Gingervitis himself, the Ginger Ninja, Ginger Snap, the soulless one, Sanely Red.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Sanely. And Sanely will be scooping up your questions and monitoring chats. Don't make him angry or he'll cut your head off. Also joining us, who is not a gingivitis, is the one and only Grim.
What is this happy good morning Monday thing you speak of?
No, I'm just trying to do something, you know. Drink some more coffee and I'll get angry. Some good coffee. Also joining us from across the pond is the one and only Mike Hunt. And he has brain damage, if you can't tell already. And last but not least, Dr. Feminist Woman is also here. Let's move on to our first subject. Let's see here. We have a roster review to do today. Is Dr. Finn there?
I'm here.
Nope.
Just give me a chance.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I intentionally did that. I just wanted I just wanted to feel your pain.
And then you went back in order for me to say something. You love me.
No, I was waiting to see you. I was wanting to see how upset you were.
Nice try. You revealed yourself.
You did not. No such thing. I just wanted to hear if you were crying like a little girl.
You see, Ranger was so...
Which is very sad, and I would like to apologize for all little girls and women out there because Finn does not represent you very well. And you were actually tougher than he is. All right. So we have a roster review today. We are doing Psyonok's profile. I hope I'm saying that right. Psyonok's? Yeah, I think that's correct. And they're in Dark Lord Rebels. Finn, this looks like a very, 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 very new roster. What are we looking to do with this one today?
So he's looking to have a general review of his roster and to see whether or not he has gaps anywhere and what direction we think he should move in.
All right. Well, first of all, let's look at his arena team. Don't know how I feel about this. Bubba lead with Boss, Dengar, Thrawn, and Greedo. Eesh. We'll come back to this. If we can look at how his mod farming is going, and then we can take it from there. He only has 29 7-star characters, 6 at 12 stars. So we got some work today here. So he does have a Zeta Saj. I like that. Gear 12. Has a Zeta Finn, but only Gear 8, but that's okay. Let's just start going through just in general what he has. Let's look at some of the main teams, and then we can kind of formulate a plan for him. Let's start with well, you know what? Let's look at his Sith. Let's just see how the old Sith farm's going. It goes well. So he's got 7 stars on Vader, Savage. Don't do any more with Savage. Nihilus, Palpatine. Scion is 3 stars with gear 8. Okay. We are ditching the bounty hunter team. Oh my god. That's got to go, my friend. We got to get your Sith going here, my friend. Because we got to do something better for you in arena. So possibly Sith might be the route that we're going to go here. Make a note about that, Dr. Finn. We'll come back to it. Number 2.
He needs the Zeta on Palpatine.
He does. I know, but I'm saying this is the team we need to move towards. So far from what we're looking at. But let's look at his Jedi, see where his Jedi are. And then we'll look at its Rebels, and then we'll take it from there. Nope. Jedi. Although Hermit Yoda's 5 stars, so I can tell he's working on them. Grandmaster Yoda's 5 star. I'm sure you'll probably get him next time around to 7 stars. Basila's 3 star, gear 7. Okay. Let's look at his Rebels. Rebels. Where are you? Where are you, Rebels? There you are. There you is. Alright. I like this. 7 star, gear 10 turret. Very nicely done. Han Solo, I can tell he's farming. Han Solo is a priority gear and stuff. Chewbacca, he's got 5 star, gear 6. No CLS. So,
yeah, we're just taking a look at his journey. So he doesn't have CLS and he doesn't have Jedi Training Ray. So
does he have BB-8?
He has 5 star BB-8. He has a 7 star Finn. So he's there. He has a 5 star Scavenger Ray. And then his veterans.
Yeah, what about the Viagra twins?
Let's see. They are both 4 star. So we're not looking at Jedi Training Ray this time, but something to look forward to next time. And then his Rebels for CLS.
Yeah, we got some work to do here. We've got to
He has a 5 star R2.
Yeah.
He has, let's see, where's everyone else? Stormtrooper Han 4 star, Princess Leia 3 star. Yeah, so
this is a priority. This is your farm man. So we're gonna finish Old Ben first. Go back in, get Luke. RT can't do anything until the event comes back around. So Stormtrooper Han, Princess Leia. Let's go ahead and get them out of the arena or the arena
he
store.
Actually, see, he's fairly close. I'm trying to see if he has, because he has 4 7-star Empire. But his Thrawn is...
Yeah, I'm not worried about R2. Yeah, I mean...
Well, R2's coming up, right? The CLS event is returning, and the Jedi Training Ray event is returning.
Well, it looks like his
so it doesn't look like he'll be able to get it this time.
Thrawn...
It'll still be 5 star. He needs Thrawn to 7 star. And I think it looks like he has his Phoenix... Yeah, his Phoenix are starred up. His Phoenix needs some gear.
Right.
And then he can get Thrawn to 7 star, and then he'll be ready for R2. So
right. So we need to get gear, at least gear 9 on Ezra, Hera, Zeb, Kanan, Chopper. That should help you get your Thrawn to 7 star and to be able to unlock Thrawn 7 stars, which will unlock there'll be the last piece you need for that R2 event. So that'll be your gear farm is for those dudes. And then we need to worry about what he needs for CLS. So we're going to have to, let's finish farming Old Ben and then immediately go into Luke. Let's start with Stormtrooper Han, since you already have him at 4 stars, let's finish him up to 7 stars, and then let's get Leia going, because you have to have them all 7 stars to do it. It's not a legendary, it's a journey. So unfortunately, they have to be all 7 stars, and they don't have to be high gear. They just need to be gear 8, you know, to do the thing, and then you'll be good to go. So that's kind of where you need to be focusing your farm right now. We've got to start get you into the mode of getting legendary characters, and we're missing some. So we need to get, and the ones you do have, we need to get to a higher star level, and it's really going to help you out tremendously. So we need to get. Is he? Where did you say his vets were?
His vets were 4 stars, so he's still kind of far away.
Yeah, so we can actually work on the vets, because I think what is CLS? Where's the farm for those? Old Ben's out of the store, I think, or is Luke out of the store for Cantina?
The Cantina store?
Or are those Cantina farms?
Yeah, they're both Cantina farms. Neither of them is in the Cantina store.
Okay,
Luke is in the guild store.
Right, that's right. Because an arena is Leia and Han. So that's easy enough. You just farm those guys out of your arena. That's your arena shipments right there for those two. And then let's finish up Old Ben, then go to Luke. You can farm Luke while you're doing it out of the guild store. He needs to be priority. Then it's Farm Boy Luke. And then gear-wise, let's start working on gearing those Phoenix characters so you can get Thrawn, which will help you get
priority being Sith, though, in order to get higher up in arena.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at a Sith,
he needs to gear up his Sith. He needs a Zeta on Emperor Palpatine. I think so. And Captain Obvious is yelling at him in the chat that he needs to start getting his 600 to do his dailies.
Oh, snap!
So make sure that you're always doing your dailies, and you're also doing your 600. In terms of crystal spending, what you want to make sure you're doing is all of the dailies, first off, will get you about 50-something crystals. Depending on what the final one ends up, you can end up with about 60 or 70. But it's about 50 crystals. And then your Galactic War gets you 25. And so those two combined get you 75 crystals. Then you do whatever you can in arena, and you have to improve in arena. We need you at least top 200. So we're not going crazy. We're not saying top 20. We're not saying top 10, 5, nothing like that. Top 200. Reason for top 200 is once you get into top 200, the combination of the arena tokens that you get from your dailies plus the arena tokens that you get from getting into the top 200 gets you enough for 2 purchases every day from Arena Store, which means that you get 10 character shards per day. So you want to have that consistency in terms of character shard acquisition, especially early in the game, because you need to get those characters up, especially when you have so many overlapping in there with Stormtrooper Han and then Princess Leia. You're going to need to get those up soon. So you have to keep up going there, right? And then you just kind of keep on moving forward. Now your crystals, when you're in the top 200, you'll also get an additional 75 crystals. So now you have the 75 that you get from Galactic War and from dailies. Then you get the 75 that you get from your arena. And then the combination will get you 150, and that'll be enough to do 3 of your arena, of your regular energy refreshes, or you'll do 1 regular and then 1 cantina.
Yeah.
So the combination of those is what you need to start doing in terms of building your roster. For you, where you are right now, I would say you want to do your 3 regular energy refreshes over cantina, because you have a lot of cantina farms going on. It also gets you additional gear if you start farming hard node. So when we say gear up your Sith, right, you have a lot of characters, which is kind of a good thing in one way. You have a lot of characters that are not 7-star. Since they are not 7-star, when you need gear, you can then run the hard nodes and start getting shards for characters in addition to the gear that you need. And that'll be a huge benefit for you as you're trying to get this gear and you're trying to get more characters up to 7-star. You farm gear through the hard nodes for your Sith teams, and then you'll start getting other 7-star characters. They may not be ones you need to focus on. If you can, that would be great. Like if one of the gear pieces you need is on your Darth Sion hard node, or there's on one of the just happens to be the Jedi Luke, or not Jedi Luke, the farm boy Luke hard node or whatever it is, right? If you're able to get that overlap, it will help you quite a bit.
Yeah, so we got to get Palpatine, Nihilus, Vader to 11. Same thing with Darth Sion. That could be your tank, and then throw your Thrawn in there, and that'll be your team moving forward. And your next Zeta needs to go on Emperor Palpatine.
Another useful little thing would be: has he completed? Can he sim Galactic War? Because you get 3 to 6 shards for free, just for going in and simming. Sim the lot, done. Over 500,000 credits plus,
character shards, all kinds of stuff.
He has a Zeta Bosk, so I would be surprised if he might not be able to sim it yet. Let me see. It says how many victories does he have? Galactic Wars 1 is only 4,000. So I don't know if he's even finishing his Galactic War daily. You really need to make sure that you're doing that because it's all just free loot. So I mean, 4,000 isn't bad. It looks like he's a little bit of a newer player, so 4,000 is still reasonable. So you may or may not be able to sim it, but he has a Zeta Bosk lead with his bounty hunters, so I'm pretty sure he's able to make it all the way through.
All right. So that's the team. You need to get your arena team, and then we got to get those farms going on Cantina. We got to start doing old Ben, Luke, use your arena for Leia and Han. Once you get your gear for your arena team going, then we need to finish up gearing Phoenix so we can get your Thrawn, so we can get your R2, so we can get your CLS, right? And then once those are done, then we need to go in and finish the Viagra Brothers. I mean, so we can start looking at JTR. I didn't even look at his bounty hunters yet. Where are we with bounty hunters? I mean, he has some pieces. So he's got Both at 12, Boss with the Zeta at 5, Dengar's 10, Greedo's 9, IG 88 6-star and 9.
He's also MTGPing a lot. So I can see his Embo is gear 8 3-star, level 76. That's kind of useless GP there.
Don't touch him again.
Yeah, Jango Fett is gear 9, level 85.
Don't touch him again.
You're not going to need to touch him again. So don't focus on characters that you're not going to be able to use. Now, here's going to be your general rule of thumb. Okay, so this first one you don't necessarily have to follow. It depends on your situation, in particular how many mods you have. The minimum that you want to keep it, if you want to level up your character at all, is level 50. No gear, just level 50. The reason for level 50 is that you can put mods on them and they extend your inventory.
Right.
But the only situation in which you do that is if you have an extra amount of mods. If you don't have a lot of extra mods, then don't bother doing it. Currently, it looks like you have 348 mods equipped, which isn't even all of your characters. So in that case, don't do it. Just leave your characters at level 1, gear 1, unless you are dedicated to taking them all to at least level 85, gear 10. If you're not taking them to level 85, gear 10, just leave them as level 1, because all it's going to do is add GP to your account, and that's going to then kind of mess up some of the dynamics of your guild as well, with regards to the GP and stuff that they're getting, and territory wars. Now, it can be beneficial later on, okay? So, actually, I'm not going to go into details because it might just start confusing. There may be some benefits to MTGP later on. Your guild can help you decide that. But in general, don't bother getting MTGP because that MTGP will hurt. So don't bother taking characters unless you're taking them to level 85, gear 10, and you're dedicated to taking them there. Don't bother leveling up any other extra characters.
I mean, if you're hard node farming Boss, which is fine, you can add him as part of your hard node farm. I have no problem with that. But the other farms that we just told you to do, you need to do it. So the first priority of any newer account, right? And we see this all the time. It's kind of all over the place. Focus on those teams to get those legendary characters. That's it. There's nothing. You work on your arena team first, but at the same time, you're farming those characters so you can get those legendary characters. It makes your roster that more dynamic. So, first priority is gearing up, putting the Zeta on Palpatine, fixing your arena team, and make sure you have your best mods on there. Then at the same time we're also farming these characters out of Arena and Cantina and other places to make sure that you're getting the pieces that you need so that we can start getting things like R2 to 7 stars, Thrawn 7 stars, unlocking, and getting CLS. I mean, this is just the pieces that you need to go, you need to have moving forward. Because if you can keep working on your boss and get him 7 stars, get the pieces that you need for CLS and finish up R2, you can just go full Rebel team. With Chewbacca at 7 stars. I mean, you've already got the Zedon boss. You get him 7 stars for the next round for Chewie event. Pretty good chance you're going to get Chewie next time. So, and then if you can get CLS, finish up R2. I mean, you've got to make it a really good team there, but you've got to invest and take the time and farm the characters to unlock those characters. It's, I mean, you can farm Jango all you want, but it's not really going to do much for you at this juncture. So, that is what you need to do, my friend. That is what our plan is for you to farm there. Anything else, fellas?
I mean, so what were the hard nodes that we kind of discussed for him then? Which one did we finalize he should farm?
Boss is one.
I would say Boss, Scion, and Talzin are the ones that I'm looking at.
And then for Arena, we said Stormtrooper Han, Leia, Cantina, finish up Old Ben, then go do Luke, Farm Boy Luke, and then
Luke you can get from the guild store.
Yeah,
as well.
so while you're farming Old Ben, and anytime you see any Luke shards in there, go ahead and purchase them. I think that's the plan right now is for those characters.
And then you should be trying to do three of the regular energy refreshes, right, which are the 50 crystal refreshes for regular energy. After you are done with Bosk, Scion, and Mother Talzin, use your extra energy on hard nodes in order to get gear first for that Sith team. So Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Nihilus, Scion, and Thrawn. You want to try and get all of them to at least gear 11. So your Thrawn is already there, which is good. Your Nihilus is at gear 9, your Vader's at gear 10, your Palpatine is at gear 7, and your Scion's at gear 8. So those 4 characters you want to start gearing up, and you gear them up through hard nodes with characters that you don't have. That way you're accumulating shards, maybe not for characters you're focusing on, but you're doing it for the gear. A really good node, by the way, is the Admiral Haldo node. Amelin Haldo has a really, really good hard node because you get all of the stuff that you need for like
nice stuff
that goes with the car.
So does Anakin and Veers, by the way.
Yeah. Anakin and Veers are also. I think he has Veers at 7-star though.
Well, he can if he's raiding, he's going to get gear from raids and the events and certain events and stuff like that. Right, so I'd rather him focus on.
No, his Veers is at 5-star. Yeah, do that one.
And the Jedi consularship.
Where you get the consularship is another great node. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you'll find them as you're doing it, but you want to focus on hard nodes for gear that have characters or ships that you don't have yet. So you can start accumulating those as well in parallel. But your main focus for shards, Boss, Talzin, and Scion, and then gear up your Palpatine, Vader, and Nihilus and Scion first. Your Thrawn is good. And then afterwards, start trying to get your Phoenix up to gear 9. That's all you need to do. Yeah. Even gear 8, honestly, is fine. Level 85, gear 8, you can do it with a bunch of RNG. And I know we have the Ranger stuff to go through. But at least you want them gear 8, and then you can start pushing them to some gear 9. I know they require a lot of Carbantes and stuff to move up, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult. With your... I'm trying to see where your mods are. I hope with your mod energy you are not farming slicing materials.
No,
because
please,
you don't have
You're not
a
in the,
locked double-digit mod. So it is not worth it for you to do slicing right now.
No.
You should be straight farming mods, and in particular, you're going to want to straight farm the speed set, I think, because you're lacking speed sets, speed secondaries more than anything, and if for Arena in particular, it definitely comes down to speed.
Pretty
and
much.
so you're gonna need to focus on that. What's interesting? What? Hold on, I have to see something. He has a Zeta on Bosk. He has the leader Zeta on Bosk, but he's running Boba lead in Arena.
I saw that and I hadn't even brought that up yet.
Okay. Even with your current Arena team, you need to change that. I mean, if you want to run bounty hunters, which is fine, right? Because that's what you have currently at a higher level. So if you want to run Bosk, Lead, Boba Fett, Dengar, and I mean those three are arena ready. Your Greedo isn't ready. Your IG-88 really isn't ready. Then I can see why you put in Thrawn, and you may just want to stick in like a Nihilus or something instead. Just for now, while you're looking, because you don't have like a solid team right now. Actually, the thing that you're lacking more than anything is a tank besides Boss. So it's
couldn't you put Chewie in there?
His Chewie's also not in a good shape to put into Arena. So he has the Chewie level 85, but gear 6. So that's not going to really do much either. His Han is gear 7, right, without a Zeta. So Han is good, but not unless he's gear 12 with a bayonet. Otherwise, he's just kind of weak without much damage. So I would probably switch your team to Bosk, Boba Fett, Dengar, Thrawn, and then Nihilus or something like that in order to try and get some cooldown reductions and just get some survival going. But you have a bunch of characters that you need to work on in order to push your roster forward. And
it'll utilize the Zeta on Bosk as well, won't it? That's redundant at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, so this isn't uncommon, right? So I'm looking at his roster, and it looks like he's working on characters that he has fun with. Right, so he has a lot of the Sith and stuff that he's geared up a little bit, but they're not in any particular, I don't want to say rhyme or reason, right? But he has like a gear 8 Sidious that doesn't need to be gear 8. He's worked on Phasma a little bit. He has, I mean, there's some scattered characters at gear 7 that really don't need to be there. And so maybe he just enjoyed the characters and he worked on it, or he changed and didn't have any direction, which is common for newer players. So what the main thing now is, as you're getting into end game, and you pretty much are going to be helped into end game, and I know that because you're in the Dark Lords Guild, so I know Grande and Sanely are going to be trying to push for you to start moving in the right direction, right?
We have voice chats where we push gentlemen and other players in the right direction. Yes,
there you go.
It's a big deal to push people in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's very easy to get lost, especially now in this game, because there's so much going on. You have to avoid getting distracted by the new shinies.
Yeah,
and I hate saying this because I know we've talked about him so much on the stream. Don't get distracted by all this Revan talk. Don't get distracted. Try to
shinies.
There's method to the methodology, right? You know,
you're not ready for KOTOR to be a top team for you.
No,
so you're not going to be ready for Revan. You don't have CLS. You don't have Jedi Training Rey. You still have to finish Grand Admiral Thrawn
and BB-8
I mean, you have
and R2. I mean, there's a lot of things he's got to focus in on. So take the plan that we laid out for you, and it'll just start trickling down through your ranks, right? As you start unlocking these legendaries, it just makes those specific groups of characters that much better. CLS, JTR, 7-star BB-8, 7-star R2. You know, finishing, you know, have your Sith as arena viable. I mean, this is just going to help your game progression. And then it just starts trickling down. You've got these legendary characters down, you got all these extra teams. Now you can start focusing in on specific teams and really gearing them up and getting them rock and rolling. And that's the way you want to do it. You know, don't worry about the new shinies. Don't worry about what's coming out. You know, just focus in on these characters first and getting them completed, and then you can start worrying about those when they come back around. Eventually you're going to catch up to where you're on the same timeline as the new stuff as it comes out, but as a new player, you're behind the curve greatly. This is the fastest way, if you stay focused on this plan, that will get you caught up in a way that will give you the opportunity to unlock some of this other stuff.
And it is dependent on going higher in Arena.
Yeah, we got to get you higher in Arena, and that's why we're saying get your Sith as quickly as possible. Kicking ass, change the boss lead. Oh, God.
York is working on unlocking JTR, which means I'm farming the Viagra twins at the moment, and that is just so soul destroying. Realizing just how far I need to get until that little pearl pops up, and it's like, oh, an Omega. It's like, okay, I'll endure this for another week and get another one. So at least on that side, you've got, you know, the chance of dropping a couple of Omegas as you're doing them.
The other thing too, you're not doing terrible in a fleet arena. You're at rank 289, which actually,
that's not bad.
I mean, it's better than where you are in arena. Start trying to improve your fleet as well. I see that you're running you're running Houndstooth, IG 2000, and Slave 1. Slave 1 is a better reinforcement ship than anything else, but you focused on your bounty hunters, and so I see why you're putting them in there. You probably need to start working towards a different squad in fleet as well in order to try and get higher. The reason for fleet, there is some crystals, but you need to start getting into the top 50. And I know that's a little bit difficult, so I'm not necessarily pushing for you to get in the top 50. If you can, that's fantastic. But
farm first order.
Yep,
I'm just going to
you
tell
can farm
you right
first
now.
order.
First, the lowest resource intensive team that can win is first order plus Houndstooth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I cannot even. First of all, you already have to get all those characters to 7-star to get BB-8, so you've already got the first order team. So first order and Houndstooth under a drawn lead makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
For multiple reasons. That team can take first in anyone's arena when maxed.
Mm-hmm. And he's running a Tarkin, and I think you can do all that under Tarkin as well, just to outlast until the AOE ultimate. So
you could definitely throw it under Tarkin until you get Thrawn to 7-star. But
mm-hmm.
I honestly think that Thrawn, as your climbing buddy, you know, it'll kill when you get up into the top 100 or the top 200 of ships. Thrawn gets to his ultimate first, and he can always kill the other person's Houndstooth. Sometimes when you get up that high, the AOE won't kill the other person's Houndstooth from Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with Executrix over Chimera. I think for climbing, Chimera is better.
I blame Finn.
I don't blame Finn. Finn's right.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing also is that the differential between some of the arenas, the fleet arena tiers, isn't a lot. But getting into the top 200 in fleet, you go from getting 1,000 fleet tokens as a reward to 1,200. So it's 200 token increase. The other tiers then start to go up by about 50. So it's not as much as you go into the higher tiers. But getting from where you are right now, which is, and I don't know what exactly your payout is, so maybe you do get into the top 200 in arena. We don't get that necessarily in GG. But if you can get into the top 200, you will be getting more fleet tokens, and those fleet tokens are really important because it helps you get ships to 7-star, which is first priority, and as the faster you get that done, the faster you can then spend your fleet tokens on Zetas and start Zetaing up more characters. And so, again, it's a cascade effect. The arenas is where you get your main sources of currency. Your squad arena gives you a lot of crystals, and you get your arena tokens to get those characters, and it all trickles down from there. Fleet arena does the exact same thing now. You get crystals if you get into the top 50. For lower ones, the crystals aren't really there. But the main focus there are your fleet arena tokens. So try to focus as much as you can on getting those ships up to 7-star. Your TIE Advanced, you want to get him up to 7-star. Your Slave 1, you can get up to 7-star. You're running Houndstooth and IG 2000, so those ones you'll have to wait a little bit. There's not much you can do on that front. But your Biggs Darklighter, his X-Wing, you want to try and get up to 7-star because he's a really, really good tank. Your Sunfac, your Geonosian starfighter. Even if you don't necessarily put too much into his character, his ship is really good because you can get 2 stuns. So you want to start working on his character, or his ship. So there's ships here and there that you want to work on as well, and then as you improve in both squad and fleet, your overall progress is going to start going up. So he's saying he gets on average about 1 Zeta every 3 weeks. Is that above or below average? I think that's just about average. So you'll be getting your dailies, plus you're getting your events, right? I'm assuming this is what you're accumulating when you're talking about that. So you get the Zeta mat that you get from your territory war, plus you get your daily about. Hopefully you get top 200. So every 2 days you'll be getting a Zeta mat, plus you get your challenges, which will hopefully get you something. So it's somewhere around the range of about 4, probably 4 to 5 is usually where most people are with where you are. If you're getting 3, that's fine. But if you get a full Zeta every 4 to 5 weeks, that would be about average with where you are.
All right.
I didn't buy Zeta materials in the fleet store, in that fleet shop, for probably 7 months.
Same.
Maybe longer.
All characters, all ships to 7-star.
All characters and all ships to 7-star.
Same.
And there are a few characters in there too. Don't forget, there are a few characters in Fleet that you'll want to get too. Like Chirrut is one.
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum, Ahsoka, Grievous if you want him, and Vader. Those are the 4 main ones. And I know Grievous kind of sucks, but I would still try and finish him off because there's a chance that he's getting a rework. Plus, in general, finish all characters to 7-star, all ships and characters to 7-star in all locations before you shift into some of the ancillary stuff.
Yep. All right. I think we've covered the bases. And Scion, if you have questions, you can reach out to us in our Discord. We'd be more than glad to help you out. That's what it's there for. So stick with the plan. I guarantee you'll see much success from it. Trust me. We may not be experts, but we play them over the airwaves. All right. All right. So let's get to questions.
No, weird news.
No, I don't want to do weird news. It's a holiday.
That's the best part.
And
what holiday is it?
And I don't even have the links.
I put all the links in admins and tagged you.
Well, I don't have Finn. If you don't do it before 11:30. As far as I'm concerned,
I did do it.
No, as far as I'm concerned, you failed.
The time posted is 11:21 a.m.
Uh-huh.
It's I put it there, I tagged you, I did everything. It's in Discord.
Sure you didn't.
You can check.
Let's just pull up Discord now and we'll just
I gave you everything.
Sure. Don't worry, Finn. I'll pull it up in Discord, but it's going to take a minute because you suck.
You want me to put it in Skype? Does that make it easier?
Hey, while we wait,
no, Discord's taking forever.
Did anybody see the new Resistance cartoon?
I did not get a chance to watch it yet.
I've not watched it yet. Yeah.
Let me just say that I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be great.
I hope so. I mean, I was a little worried, just based on the channel and the general animation. I thought it might be a little too kiddie.
I'm not going to say it's not kiddie, but let's just remember that you got to get the kids hooked in order to get.
I do not disagree with you though.
In order to get season 2, season 3, season 4 to get more into the stuff, but I mean, the network it's on is the Disney network. So you got to get them. You know, it's on Disney. It's on Disney XD. You got to get them to the point where, where they'll move past that, and it takes a little while. And I felt like it was a good start. I mean, I've seen a lot of people be very critical of it. I'm like, man, it was the first freaking show. How does it pertain to the game? I think that's what most people that are viewing and watching us right now on this
Hold on,
channel.
capital ship.
So I think it'd be incredibly easy for us to get some new First Order and for us to get some new other ships, very, very, very easily.
Yeah. The one thing though that I just want to be careful, not careful, but just something grande is that the Resistance one is on XD, but it's actually also on the regular Disney Channel as well. The Rebels, for example, was only XD, and the age range of them are about like four years difference.
All right.
Age range.
Yeah, well, the channel is kind of intended for, I think XD is starting at like 8 years and up, and Disney is intended for 4 and up. That's why I was just a little more worried that it might be a little too kiddie, because the Disney Channel, like the cable Disney Channel, is obviously a little bit more kiddie than XD is. XD goes a little bit more to the preteens.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. That was my only worry. I'm going into it with an open mind, but I'm just saying the initial worry just based on channel.
I mean, I've heard people say it was too many characters at one time, blah, blah, blah. I did not think it was too many characters at one time.
All right. Well, let's get into these weird news stories. And then we'll talk about the stuff afterwards. So first one is Maine couple wins North American wife carrying championship. A Maine couple who won 12 cases of beer at the North American wife carrying championship. Jesse Wall and Christine Arsenault have been participating in the annual event for several years and have come out on top before. Were dubbed the winners at the North American Wife Carrying Championship at Sunday River Resort in Newry, Maine. The pair were one of 35 couples participating in the unusual race Saturday and finished the final round with a time of 58.72 seconds, winning them Arsenal's weight in beer, 12 cases, and 5-time Arsenal's weight in cash. The win also earned Wall and Arsenault the chance to travel to Finland, where the wife-carrying sport originated, to participate in the World Wife Carrying Championships. Grande, I think you need to enter this event.
I need to enter this event?
You and the missus.
We'll enter the wife carrying competition. My wife doesn't like it when I pick her up. It weirds her out.
Oh.
She doesn't like it when I pick her up. She doesn't like it when I tickle her.
Well, if she wins her weight, to say, honey, your weight in beer and 5 times that in cash.
I'm just telling you, these are 2 things my wife is not a big fan of, is being picked up and being tickled. She doesn't like either one of those very well. Hey, Mike, does your wife like being picked up or being tickled?
Oh, God, no. And, Ski Trooper, I was muted, mate.
Yeah. Next one. Popeye serves up gold-covered chicken. Grande the chicken!
Nice! Gold-covered chicken.
Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen celebrated the opening of its 3,000th store with a special menu item, chicken wings dipped in gold. The chicken chain announced the 24-karat champagne wings, chicken wings battered in champagne and covered in 24-karat gold flakes, are available at select stores nationwide. The location served up the opulent poultry include the Elizabeth, New Jersey location, which officially became the chain's 3,000th store when it opened in August. The eatery said it is considering serving the $10 gold wings at more locations if the promotion proves popular. Grande, go get those chickens!
I'm on it.
God, look at the... No, you don't eat this. Just throwing that out there. You shouldn't eat gold.
Well, I think they are designed to be eaten.
The other thing, too, is I think gold's inert whenever you eat it.
Yeah, I'm not eating gold. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, next one...
You know what they say though. If you eat the gold chicken, you're gonna poop gold.
Oh. I'm just surprised.
That's the only difference. We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Jump in his vehicle and head right there.
When
Semi drives on bike path, gets stuck under bridge. Oh my God. A confused trucker in Ohio drove onto a bike path and ended up getting his semi wedged underneath a pair of overhead bridges. The Columbus Division of Police said the bike path north of Spring Street parallel to Iowa State 315. Oh, God. Was closed after a truck driver from out of town got confused trying to find a highway on ramp Thursday. Police posted photos to Facebook showing the semi wedge underneath a pair of bridges that span over the path. The truck driver was cited for reckless operation and traffic control device, police said. Hey, I wonder if I go over this way if I can get underneath. See, this is the thing. If I was driving a semi and I saw an overhead like that, I'm like, I ain't making that through there. Oh my God. Look at that photo. Craziness. Alright, next one. Put it in here. Let's see what we got next. It's pulling it up. Slowly. Maybe. The news is taking forever. Alright, book for real, right? Book returned to Louisiana Library 84 years after it was checked out. Talk about some late fees. Better late than never, right? We had a patron return a book to our main branch yesterday that his mother checked out in 1934 when she was 11 years old. That means the book is only 84 years overdue. The book is Spoon River Anthology by Edgar Lee Masters. A book was returned to a Louisiana library this week, decades after it was checked out in 1934. A patron cleaned out a house on a book his mother checked out in 1934 when she was 11 years old. He returned it Monday to the Shreve Memorial Library in Shreveport, the library said in a Facebook post. Although 80 years have passed since the book Spoon River Anthology by Edgar Lee Masters was checked out, the library said that in a comment that a maximum charge of overdue books would keep the fee at $3. It's the latest long overdue book to surface at a U.S. last month. The Lexington Public Library in Kentucky tweeted a picture of the book that was returned after it was checked out in 1968. It's never too late to return an overdue book, the Kentucky librarian said. Jesus.
So basically, you can get a book for $3.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
you just probably can't go back to that same library again, but you can get a book for $3.
All right. Next story. Oh God. Krispy Kreme in Ireland stops overnight drive-thru due to honking. Finn, what have you done?
Well, you know, I mean, you need some.
God, look at that line. Jesus. A new Krispy Kreme location in Blackardstown, Ireland has decided to end its overnight drive-thru service following complaints from neighbors about the noise caused by honking cars. The store, which opened September 26, offered a 24-hour drive-thru service that would attract long lines of cars that would honk their horns throughout the night, preventing nearby residents from going to sleep. Video footage of the drive-thru line from Independent IE features a number of noisy cars wrapping around an entire shopping plaza. Since the grand opening, we haven't had proper sleep at night. We have jobs, kids, schools, and so many elderly people living here as well, a resident said. Every night the queue for donuts is unbelievable. Lights, noise, pollution, and horns.
Most of them is just me, so you know. That's just me and a bunch of Ubers, and each one is...
all streets blocked and all cars honking at once.
I think
I think we get the gist of this.
all I want is a Krispy Kreme near me. Is it too hard to ask? All I want is a Krispy Kreme. Freaking closest one's an hour and a half away.
Yeah, Mike, you're near Ireland. Go handle this.
I'm just amazed at that. I'm looking at the picture of all of them cars, and you think, just park and walk over. You can see it. Just park.
I know, right?
I mean, it's not as if there aren't any
What
spaces.
are you doing to get
No,
out of
so
our
it
cars?
happens in the U.S. too. So there's places that are open 24 hours, right? But they're open only in drive-thru for that 24 hours.
Right.
The dining room is closed at 11 p.m., midnight or something. So if you need food afterwards, you have to go through the drive-thru. You don't have the choice.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Wow.
There's signs behind it.
They should Uber Eats that then, shouldn't they?
Yes.
All right. Taiwan restaurant attracts tourists with toilet theme. I don't even want to read this, Finn.
It's actually pretty adorable because it's Japanese and that's what they do.
A Taiwan restaurant is drawing in customers with an unusual gimmick: toilet-shaped bowls and poop-themed menu items. The modern toilet restaurant in Taipei serves up its noodles in toilet-shaped bowls and seats its customers on repurposed toilets with padded cushions. I swear. The eatery's scatological menu items include poop meatballs and stuffed brown sugar poop pancakes. Modern toilet also serves up desserts. I can't even. Desserts that resemble poop emojis and features signs inviting customers to try our crap. The restaurant's owner said it has become a popular spot with tourists.
I want to go there.
You go by yourself. I ain't joining you.
I want to go there and try their crap. They called it the modern toilet. Grande.
Can't.
You could have your grandes while eating.
Nice.
This is like the restaurant for grande.
God.
It's just funny. I don't know if yours has the same one. If you scroll down to the more stuff, the read more. The first one is woman uses plunger to make own bus handle. All right, I think that's a good transition.
Yeah, I'm done.
I think it's time for questions.
I'm done. I can't do it. I can't goddamn do it, Finn.
I think you just need to flush away your feelings.
I hate you. Sanely save us from this.
Old Jazz said I've been there. The place was a dump. There was also a contingent. You know the truck story that you saw. Apparently, contingent lives around there. He said he was glad that his city made the weird news. All right, let's get to questions.
Adam Connolly, question is Revan a raid or hero journey, and what gear level do you think will be needed?
We have no clue. It could be all those or none of those. We have no idea at this point what in the hell is
Gear
going
12.
to be. I just...
So the gear level needed for Chewie was probably largely because, and we've said this before, the characters, a lot of them were available day one, so they had to make it difficult, right? So that was part of the reason why it was harder. My personal guess, Revan is going to be a legendary. You're going to fight kind of a mini raid boss, so it's going to be a little bit different than the typical legendaries where you fight creatures. It's going to be like a mini raid fight that you'll need KOTOR characters for, and chances are it's going to be tuned to somewhere around high gear 10, low gear 11 with mods, which means that you might be able to get away with it with gear 9. But again, speculation right now. That's just my guess based on what we have so far.
It could be anything. It could be like I hope it's an event like how we did Treya and Wicked. Actually, that could be super freaking cool.
I don't know. All I have is 2 words for that, and it's called power creep.
I don't know. We'll see, man.
I mean, Gear 11, Gear 12 characters for the Chewie event. Chances are, since Revan is one of the most wanted characters in the game, so more than likely you're going to need Gear 12s.
However, Affinity made a great point the other day, which is why was the Chewie event Gear 11, Gear 12? And a bunch of people here because you had effectively characters that had been in the game close to 2 years. You could get 5 bounty hunters with characters that had been in the game at least 2 years. If you went back to the OG 5, right? So if you went Boba Fett, IG-88, both in the game when the game started. Cad Bane in the game when the game started. Dengar came out in April of 2016. And Zam came out like in or Greedo started in the game. So that means all of these characters you had 2 years to farm. 2 years, a full 2 years. That's the reason why the Boba Fett event was easier. And why the Chewbacca event was harder was because you had 2 years with these characters. If we're talking about something that's not gonna be like that, plus 2, let's just be honest. If you were able to complete the last tier of that bounty hunter event that gave you nest shards, no one that I met that was able to get nest shards and wampa shards from that bounty hunter 1 event and the bounty hunter 2 event thought the Chewbacca event was hard. And that means they gave you a good 2 or 3 months to test yourself. If you cannot complete the in-game content that you see ahead of time with the characters that they give you, and they let every player in the game know how good your bounty hunters needed to be 2 or 3 months ahead of time, right? Because they had this event. It's like this. If they come up with a solo scoundrels, right? Like the event they just had now. If you cannot complete the last tier of that event with Kira and Nest and the one that was today and young Lando and all that stuff, if you can't complete that event, then if they come out with a marquee, if they come out with a heroic or a legendary with that stuff, and you can't complete that, don't expect to be able to complete the other one. So what I'm saying is that they teach us in the process. They teach us. And that smugglers event where you says, hey, were you able to complete the final tier? Well, great. Then you'll be able to complete the heroic or the legendary. It'll be the same way with this one. We haven't seen an event that took KOTOR. But if we do see an event that takes KOTOR, and it's one of these daily events, and you can't complete it with your KOTOR, then guess what? You need better KOTOR.
Brad Burgess, question, do you all know of a list of good mod percentages / ranges of secondary stats? I assume the list I have has adjusted due to slicing.
I don't know what list you have, but the list really doesn't change that much because your list is probably based on getting 3 or 4 rolls anyways. So all slicing does is just move it up. You're not getting additional rolls on the top end of a 5-dot mod. All you're getting is more rolls on that, so it maxes out as the same as a gold. So your thing is probably the same. The only exception is going to be all of those you're going to need to multiply by the changes if you're including 6E. Because your list is probably based on 5A, good secondary stats. And 6E now changes that, so you'll need to check the CG post that was up that gave you the percentage differences, and just multiply that by what the percentage is, and that'll give you the good range at a 6E if you want to look at 6E in addition. But 5A, it should be pretty much the same.
Daniel McCarthy, question, how likely do you think Chewbacca will be needed for another event?
Guess is he'll very likely be needed for the next leg of the Luke event. Now, when it's coming, anybody's guess. But it'd be really surprising if Chewie was not the legendary that was utilized with the next leg of Luke.
That's logical.
Do you reckon it will go around a few times to give players the opportunity of unlocking a 7-star Chewie before? So we're probably looking a good 8 months' time or so.
Well, let's just put it this way. It took him 2 years to give us a Luke that actually has a lightsaber, and he's not a Jedi.
So we have to look... So one thing lately, anyways, that we have to be careful about is using history in order to predict where they're going. But given that as kind of the backdrop here, if we do use history in order to try and predict your question, Mike, R2, his second return is when CLS dropped, and for BB-8, they sped up his second return in order to get Jedi Training Raid. So typically, they've made it so it's the second return of that legendary that is used for a journey where the journey actually shows up. So if they keep the cadence, then 3 to 4 months would be when Chewie would return, in which case then that was part of the why I was predicting that it would come back in December, during Christmas time, because that would be 3 months from when Chewie came, and you could get a Jedi Luke Christmas type thing. But again, that's using history in order to try and predict it, and recently they have gone away from norms for whatever reason, some a little bit more easier to identify than others. But I don't think it'll come around several times. If anything, maybe one extra time, so maybe CLS returns on the 3rd instance instead of the 2nd, but I would still guess that Jedi Luke and Chewie are coming back in December.
Paul Morgan, question: I have the KOTOR tunes at 5-star accept mission. Do I now switch to gearing them up to gear 10 and then continue with stars?
No, focus on stars.
No, I'd finish them off. Get them 7 stars, because that's, to be honest, that's easier than the gear farm.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too: is you never want to gear. You want to save gear, right? I mean, some of these KOTOR characters are awesome. Some of these KOTOR characters are not so awesome, right? So the ones we know that are awesome, Bastila, awesome, right? The other ones, the other 4, we have some niche places for Zalbar. We have some niche places for the freaking iRumba. What's his name? What's the iRumba's name? The robot? It looks like the iRumba head. T3M4. We have some places for that guy. We have some places for Zalbar. Jolie's a hot pile of garbage. And Mission's probably a hot pile of garbage. So, I would tell you to save the gear and just don't put it on somebody else. And then if we get an event, great, then put it on. If you can't pass it. If we don't get an event, then good for you, and in 6 months you can go put that gear on somebody else.
Yeah. If all else fails, I mean, at least you're getting a really, really good Jedi leader out of it. Bastila. I mean, personally, I think she is the best Jedi leader in the game.
The other thing, too, don't forget, these events last for a week, right? It is really easy if you start accumulating other resources in order to gear up characters. Between Guild Store, Guild Event Store, and crystals for an emergency gearing up, you have a lot of different ways that you can put gear onto a character if you need, and not to forget about the shard shop, as well as using your energy in order to farm gear. It is a lot harder to get a character up, I don't know, even from 6-star to 7-star. 100 shards in a week is not an easy thing to do. You have to use a lot of crystals in order to do that. Gear is easier because you have several different places where you can buy it from. And so you can, if you're worried about the gear aspect of it, which, I mean, people probably are, you want to limp into it, but you want to make sure you're ready in case it is difficult, like the Chewie event again or something like that. Just start saving up more of your other ancillary currency if you're not spending it on something specific. Guild Store, Guild Event Store, Shard Shop currency. You can just start holding on to it a little bit. So there's other ways you can prepare for the gear grind that may or may not be needed.
Nathaniel Morgan, question: why do so many Dark Lords need roster reviews? I see it as a failure in leadership. He put a chicken emote.
Oh my God, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. We just talked to him and we said, hey, why don't you guys? I mean, are you guys watching RSG? I was like, there's 2 or 3 people that are on this, that are in your guild group, that are on this channel a bunch. Why don't you go in here and take a look? And a bunch of them did, and so a bunch of them ended up getting roster reviews. But we do a lot of roster reviews in voice chats, in Dark Lords, a lot. Where we have these voice chats and we talk to people. So it's part of the deal. So that's what we do. But these people wanted a different set of eyes on their roster, which is totally cool.
Well, I'd see it more as a good leadership decision, really, when you can get people to help your guild out with their rosters is always a good thing.
Dakar, question, why are all the Game Changers channels also quiet recently? Are they preparing something huge?
Yeah. C3PO. How quickly
I
people
think
forget.
we're not getting that.
How quickly people forget.
Well, the it could be 3PO. It could be the long-awaited Separatist rework.
I think this
Clone
month
Wars is starting back up here soon, so just saying.
Yeah, this month has a lot of different stuff. So you can have potentially a 3PO marquee character. You'll also have potentially a Separatist rework, in particular a Grievous rework with a new TV map. And you can also have more information about Revan that I think is going to be more for next month.
Also, we could end up getting more Resistance and First Order characters thanks to the new series.
Yep. So you have a lot of things coming down the pipe here. So that's probably why they're quiet. They might be working on some other stuff that we are unaware of.
My fingers are hurting. They're crossed so much that Cody Zeta might actually become viable again.
Yeah, you're going to keep your fingers crossed and they're going to break off soon.
Paul Morgan, question, do I get a RSG message from Finity for the GoFundMe? I donated $25 as promised, Finn.
Who was that?
Get on it, Finn.
Paul Morgan.
Paul Morgan.
Check. Look at that. Yes. Yeah, I'm catching up. So last week on one of the days I was up until like 2 a.m. working on people's mods and stuff. So yes, I'll message. I have a few people I still need to message in terms of scheduling their review. So yeah, message me if you have a particular time too. For those of you that signed up, I have a few people that I need to finish, and then we'll do that. Yep.
We're gonna need to get Finn an assistant here.
I have a post-it note. I'm good.
Kazakagi, too easy. Question, Ranger, can you pray to the Crystal God for me to bless me with some more crystals and arena payouts?
Ranger's an atheist. Next question.
Yeah, I would say I don't do that.
Oh Lord, bless this thy hand grenade, that it may blow
The hell, the
thy
hand grenade
enemies
went
into
out to
tiny bits in thy mercy.
And the Lord did grin, and there was much rejoicing and celebration with orangutans and breakfast cereals. Move on. Right.
Andrew Kopta, question, how bad is it messing up my GP if I get everyone to 85? I only have 10 to go minus Tria.
I mean, what's their gear? The gear tends to have a little bit more of a bigger impact than the leveling. So if you take characters to level 85 and you keep them at level 1 without it, or gear 1 without any of their abilities, I mean, it's not going to hurt that much. Once you start gearing them, it starts adding a lot more GP, and then if you start doing their abilities, it adds a little bit more. So level 85 by itself is not going to necessarily give you a lot of that fluff GP.
Stama Osbuff, question, staying topical for newer players trying to get CLS. Can you run through the last year of the CLS event? Tips, kill order, speed requirements. My ult is close.
I have to go back and think about that because it's been a while since I've done that. I guess maybe this is just me. I don't remember it being too hard because it wasn't the hero journeys tend to be more of a star check more than a gear check.
I just did it this time round with my 1.8 million York.
What do you think about the last year?
So I'm just I haven't done anything to them since. R2D2 gear 10 with the standard Zeta on him. And then who are we looking at? I can't remember who it was. Luke Skywalker Farm Boy, gear 8, 85. Old Ben, gear 8, 85. Basically, you just need him there to die. job's done. Leia, level 80, gear level 8. Stormtrooper Han, level 80, gear 8. Done did. And I got the Luke. So, yeah, you don't need much, but if I recall, I can't believe I've got it somewhere on video. I haven't even published it. R2 Zeta just helps out, and you'll probably have that already.
I mean, isn't it just... I'm trying to remember. Isn't it just a bunch of stormtroopers? I didn't even think the last phase...
Yeah, it's 3 waves.
Yeah, it's just 3 waves of stormtroopers, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad at all.
So I'm wondering what he means by... Because I honestly do not remember the specifics of the different troopers. I know some of them taunt, like the regular stormtroopers, and usually there's some kind of commander that does like an AoE or something like that, but I honestly do not remember what the last tier was, but I mean, it's usually just more of a star check than it is a gear check, so hopefully you're not struggling too much.
And I think I ran the Leia lead, which I'm just having a look at, is maxed. Yeah, so I would have run the Leia lead. And the mods on there ain't great either. But yeah, gear level 8 for most of them. It should be good.
Doc Ariok says the last wave was Vader, TIE Fighter Pilot, Tarkin, and Troopers.
Kill Vader. Oh no, kill TIE Pilot. You want TIE Pilot down, because he just stops everything, doesn't he?
Are you sure that doesn't sound right? Maybe it is. Somehow that doesn't sound right. But again, it's been a while since I've done it, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, same here. It's been a while.
I don't remember Vader playing too big a role except for the fight against Old Ben.
I think that the annoyance
because you're trying to escape. The whole thing is it actually plays through the movie very well. So you're trying to escape. So there really shouldn't be any fight with.
He says he's wrong. He's thinking of Mythic.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, because I mean, the journey is the journey is just going through the movie. So you should just be fighting stormtroopers after the Old Ben Vader scene. So I mean, just figure out which one does the most damage. If there's some that are taunting, kill the taunting ones first, and then
Dame Rot question: I have close to 10 Zetas saved. Where should I put them for arena and raid? Well, what you need to do is get a roster review because we don't have time to go through 10 Zetas.
Oh yeah, I don't know what you have Zetas, what you don't have Zeta, where it would be most beneficial. We don't know what the options are. You can get with us on Discord. I mean, that's not like a huge roster review thing. If you link your GG page, he posted, I think, in the question and answer thing, right? So, just post your GG page, Damrot, in GG, and then you can tag me, Infinity, or you can tag Grande or something. And we can just look really quick to see where your Zetas would be best applied.
What else 73 question: how did everyone do on Territory War yesterday? We won by 1 point. Such an awesome win. Also, if I could afford to eat gold, I'd be buying hookers and blow for the RSG crew. Thanks, man.
There were a bunch of guilds. I think I know of at least 2 guilds that won or lost, 2 different battles that happened where people either won or lost by 1 point. So it goes to show you that some really close matchups are happening, which is insane to me.
We actually won, and the guild we were fighting had a 10 million GP advantage on us. You know, it was awesome.
We won comfortably in the end, but yeah.
Helenix, have you guys seen Woot 57's latest video? It's awesome. Everyone listening should watch it after the stream.
No, I have not, but I will. Again, I was out, so this is like my first... Yesterday, I basically was passed out for most of the day, so... It'll be my first day actually trying to catch back up to things.
Decepticons. Question for the upcoming Endor escalation event. Should gear 8 to 9 Ewoks with arena mods be enough? I got 7-star Tebow, Chirpa, Elder, and Scout, and 6-star Wicket.
Yep. You can do that. He didn't say Logray, right? He said Scout.
Yeah.
I don't know where his Logray is. I like Logray better with that team because that's the same team I use. So I use Wicket, Elder, Tebow, Lee, Chirpa, and Logray, and it's because it gives you another taunt dispel. Having 2 taunt dispels, if you don't have Paplu, ends up being a lot more useful. And Logray with the additional turn meter gain, and then the days and all that, he becomes fairly useful. So I like Logray instead of Scout, but if you have Scout, I think that should work. The goal is to keep Ewok Elder stealth. That's the whole premise.
And that's all the questions.
Okay, and we're 15 minutes over, so it's a good time to stop.
That's right. Finn.
What?
Finn.
Yeah.
All right, so
What?
if you're watching this, you're watching the RSG channel, and we do this every day, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 1 p.m. or whenever we get done. You know, hang out, have a little fun. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, if you can, hit the like button on the video now. Stop what you're doing and do that. We really do appreciate it. If you would like a roster review, please get with Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, in our Discord, and he can get you added to the roster. Make sure he does respond to you. He's notorious for that, so I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you haven't you haven't checked out our Discord at all, you should be in there anyway, because it's an awesome place to meet some amazing people who love the game, socialize, hang out, that kind of stuff. Also, if you haven't,
antisocial.
You're on your own. I'm just saying.
Well, technically, so is Finn.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm trying to.
I'm antisocial.
Well, you know. But also, if you haven't checked out our Patreon account, please check that out. If you haven't checked out our GoFundMe for our half marathon that we're doing to raise money for the American Cancer Society, please do. And we have a whole bunch of other stuff on the channel, so subscribe. And you can check out all the awesome stuff we have on here. And best way to know when we're streaming live, and we do stream live a lot, is to basically be subscribed so you get those notifications. That's what it's all about. All right, so on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you guys for stopping in. We really appreciate everybody's support. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there.
Ranger. One more thing. We got to start talking about it. October 20.
Go ahead, Finn.
All right. So Ranger mentioned it before that we have the GoFundMe for helping us get to Disney. So October 20th, we're actually going to be doing another long live stream for you guys. So that's a Saturday. It's not this Saturday, but it's the following Saturday. We'll be doing a long live stream. We'll be having some games and stuff going on. And basically, if you guys can hang out with us, that's great. Our main thing is trying to raise the money to get to Orlando for the American Cancer Society event that we're going to be running in. And if you guys can donate to it, that would be great. And we'll be doing some giveaways of things, and we'll have more as we progress forward once we get the GoFundMe finished for the American Cancer Society. So hopefully you guys can join us on October 20, and we'll put up the time and everything soon. But mark that date on your calendar, October 20, RSG long live stream.
All right. So check that out. Yeah, it's going to be another day of tons of coffee and breakfast cereals and Krispy Kreme donuts and gaming and right.
Blasphemy.
What do you mean? That's
I want
science.
Krispy Kreme.
Well, you can't have Krispy Kreme, Finn. Damn it. So I can't have nice things.
I don't like Krispy Kreme. I like.
I hate
Shipley's
Grande
better.
now.
I don't like Krispy Kreme. I like Shipley's. They're way better.
Can we kick Grande off the stream?
It's up to you, man. Look, I just work here.
I don't know if I can.
What
talk
about
to
Dunkin'?
Grande.
I'm not a big Dunkin' fan either, man. I'm telling you, you gotta. You guys got to expand your horizons.
Okay, we need to end the stream before I just ban Grande from everything. Let's go. Let's end this.
All right. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later. Peace.